Hello and welcome everybody to a Thursday night edition, part one of a BAMS cast. We are at the midway point of the season. I mean, we've got Shea at the top. The baloney squeezes in number two with, I think right now, the most points scored against them in the league. Very impressive from Baloney Squeezes. Puka in the third spot. But that's not all. I think when we look at this too, it's like there's a team name that has trades in it, and they're only in 10th place. Their season effectively is definitely not done. And they're in 10th place with the name trades in there. Then you've got Fiana in fourth place, who has traded away their first round pick. So just some weird stuff going on of sellers are towards the top, buyers are towards the bottom, and no bigger buyer in the marketplace with an absurd surge. None other than the commish. I'm going to throw it to you. You look like you are on site. Tell me about what is going on with your transactions, the way you weight your future, and the present place you reside.
Tim, welcome to the BAMS Mid-Season Classic. I am not used to being in public spaces with people behind me where I need to kind of shade them because I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. I got a lot to talk about. Before I do, you got a little hype in your tone and your voice, a little pop in your step. You had a good week, sir. Can I just say congratulations and how you feeling? How's the week going?
Ah, that's so kind of you, Ben. So Kamish, I think we cited it. I already forgot what the number was, but it was something like 1,200 or 1,300 days since I have last gotten the $60 bill.
Mm.
Um, it was a $50 bill back in the day. I I said it quickly in the chat, but it's like I hate selling. I hate losing. I think you know me to be one of the most hyper competitive people, and especially too that the conversations in recent years have been like, yeah, when was the last time you won? When was the last time you were in the playoffs? And it's like, I'm stacking up picks. I'm making good draft choices. Last year I start 1-5, I have to sell. This year I'm right on the brink of going 1-5 again. Thank God I get a W against Lenoir two weeks ago. This past week, high score. I'm 3-4. And I don't care where the season goes. It could just be downhill. I just didn't want back to back seasons of stocking picks and then having to sell by week six. It makes me feel so good that I just get to compete. I hate being a seller. I want to buy. I want to go. But back to you.
Yeah, I'll say that you have a strong history with success. We know the competitive nature that you have. We know the right moves that you've been making. I am fortunate to have done well when they didn't work out for you in the past few years and take advantage of some of that. Now, you don't need me to talk about mean regression, but you are back in a competitive spot. And I will say it influenced and motivated some of my trades for the past week to stay competitive. So all is well when Hardo is competing for those $60 bills. Tim, it is, like I said, the BAMS Midseason Classic. I am on site in no other than Spokane, Washington, the PNW, home of the Gonzaga Zagadeers, most notable for their Adam Morrison basketball team. John Stockton is not the coach, but very relevant and a prominent face here in the town. I just finished up a little back and forth with the fellas on the court. I'll show some pics and videos in the blog. But I do want to say one thing that caught my eye. You know, I was walking up, a little on edge, not supposed to be there. So I just, tiptoed onto the court and I saw one of the gentlemen. I was going to look up his name. I go, hey, buddy, nice win last night. I made sure to have that information coming into it. And I said, what do you guys rank these days? And he goes, I have no idea. I go, that's awesome. And I need to take that into BAMS. All of this outside noise. And I told him that. He had no idea what I was talking about, but I educated him on BAMS. But I took that. The outside noise is not important. Put the blinders on. You know what you need to do to win, and you attack it. And that's just something that I took from that experience into the second half of the season. So anyway, we're on site, Spokane, Washington. I'm at No Lie Brewery. No Lie Brewery. Swipe, click, tap for what do they have? 13% off all 12-ounce beers plus 3 wings if you mention my name. So, one quick fact about No Lie: it used to be Northern Lights Brewing Company, but trademark issues, Tim, trademark issues
Oh,
screwed them over. So nowhere here does it say Northern Lights Brewing.
yeah. I
It
mean,
says it's just
you're not getting that domain.
no, please. Um, my goodness, let's get into it. We already talked about your uh, your dominance last week. You ended up with 154, which is at a point throughout the day. I noticed that's kind of like
A
a
letdown.
shortcoming, a letdown compared to what I saw 174 at one point throughout the day. You were just on fire. Let's get into the matchups. We have a lot to talk about, and that's why I'm pushing us to get into this. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to get into the matchups, and I'm going to start with you because, again, like you said, 1,220 days. So let's talk about it. Can you see my screen
Yeah, we're
with the
good.
matchups? Cool. Did you have any questions about Spokane, by the way, or anything you wanted to know that I could
Um,
try and answer for you?
a quick question, and it's about you. It's not about Spokane, but it's related to what
Yeah,
you had just touched on.
yeah,
You consistently gain access to stadiums, pretty much like walk right up to collegiate sports
yeah,
teams while they are practicing. You
hmm
walk onto like NFL fields.
yeah.
Um,
Done that.
how is it just blind confidence? Like you belong there and you just walk around?
Yeah, yeah, and you know, there's life lessons in there too that I'm not going to try and extract from that. But yeah, you walk in there with confidence. You act like you run the place. You dress appropriately. You don't you tuck your shirts in, clean your shoes, wear a belt, stuff like that. Fiana was the poor soul who had to go up against your comeback.
Which I, yeah, I'll
Sorry.
take it. So
How's that for a segue?
yeah, there we go. So, all right. With this, I know going into it, the Fiana was texting me like, "Hey, I know I've got an uphill battle here because I think I had on the right side Devontae was going off, and that was in like the morning game. So, he had 3 TDs before noon. So, Fiana in a desperation move was like, we got to swing for the fences. Just added Justin Fields, JF1. Um, his career might be over just of poor play. I don't fault Fiana for trying to make that move because if we click into Fields, it's like he either has 4 points or 20 points. So you're like, you're trying to make something happen. You're trying to get 20 out of your quarterback. Um, Unfortunately, as we're familiar with as Bears fans, every once in a while he will just throw for like 60 yards in a game. So he was absolutely horrendous. Um, and what I would say for Fiana was like they had some people like I think it was like 320 plus point scores or close to it. Like Ramondre, the whole thing of Travion just being buried on that roster. And doesn't matter how many times Ramondre wants to fumble, he like is just the number one guy, and Vrabel's never going to take him out. Chris Olave against the Bears in what was a very uh, underwhelming offensive performance shows up with a 24 spot. Yeah, and then he gets it out of Devontae Smith, who had been crickets all season, along with AJ Brown on the Eagles and Ferguson. Now that's one where like Ferguson, I think, is the tight end number one. He just keeps getting
Yes.
20 every single week. So no
Mhm.
surprises there. But I would say, given that Fiana was kind of short staffed here, and again, going back to them being sellers uh, with Genty, who I think is just back to like scoring 5, 6 points a week. So maybe that's going to turn out to be a nice trade for Fiana, who got a second rounder there. that's a lot of background on Fiana that they gave their best, but I just couldn't be happier on what's on the right side of this visual right now. That pretty much all my guys were just absolute studs. As you said, at one point, I think I was projected for like 174. My Monday nighters were Kenneth Walker and George Kittle, who came up really empty, um, but got McCaffrey going in the run game and was a nasty little blocker.
Yeah,
But there
yeah,
we
you're right
go.
about that.
That's what we got on the right side. It was just like, it was just so cool to just sit and be like, the world is not effing me over. All of my guys are scoring touchdowns every single time I look up. I don't even really have to sweat about this game. I was at that point of if I lose really a single game in this stretch, the switch flips down into sell mode. This got
Mhm.
me out of the hole. I'm 3-4. I look at my roster and I go, this is a pretty good roster. I think we're all right. That leads us to now, and I'm like, I just have hope. I'm gonna let this thing play out for at least 5 more weeks. Back to you, Commish.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if you can dig deep to get my reference here. Was this Fiana's Corey Wooten game? You know where I'm going with that? I don't expect you to. It's a stretch, but
Corey, was he a Bears player? Who was Corey Wooten?
yeah, yeah. He was the last player to sack Brett Favre. He ended Favre's career in Minnesota on the Minnesota Golden Gophers football field, late season, insert the year. Was Fiana the last team to play Justin Fields on his last game
Oh
as a
yeah.
starter? That's where I'm going with that. It was again, didn't expect you to pick
Hey,
where I,
hey, you landed that plane, and I actually think no. I think Fields will still land somewhere, and it's just those running quarterbacks. As someone who had Anthony Richardson for a couple years, like they keep you just tantalized. And maybe you just say, I got to plug in a guy who's just gonna be running.
yeah, that's cool.
But I mean, he's just not a very good quarterback. But I was quite pleased to get that victory in the $60 bill.
Yeah.
Now,
Congrats again.
thank you. This one, I don't know if you want to talk about this. I could intro us on this, but you tell me.
Yeah, no, I'll talk about it. I would have loved to have Jay's team last week. Gosh, 80 points. I didn't think I hit that. My projections, if I didn't, I had two players with Quinn Judkins and Trey McBride combining for 53 points of my 80 points. This is just an outlier of a, or maybe not an outlier, but bad game. I am living and dying by the Chicago Bears offense with Caleb and Rome. Didn't do well. I had a bad start Thursday Night Football with DK Metcalf. Why is Led McCaffrey on my roster? It's because everyone was on bye. Maurice Taylor, Michael Taylor,
Mason.
Mason Taylor. I I have him on my team. I am clouded mentally because he's a 13th round keeper. So I'm praying that he gains some steam. It's just not a good couple weeks for me. Now this coming week is going to be better because I had sold my soul away next draft. But
That
it's
was
just a
that was
bad.
going to be my comment. First off, Mason
Yeah,
Taylor. I mean, I think he did pull in probably 75% of Justin Fields' total yardage on the day, so that's pretty impressive.
so 8 yards.
But I think when we look around the league, we've got different teams attached to different offenses. You on the Bears, we've got Puka is big on the Cowboys. We've got Ford and Tottenham is big on the Falcons.
Yeah,
I'm big on the Niners. So it's not a bad way to play when you think of the philosophy of all or nothing, stack it up. I want to be first or I want to be last. You have a situation with Puka where the Dallas offense is awesome. Their defense is terrible. They have to put up 30 every game. Like those, that's why you do it. That's why you try to make that happen. My question to you, and we're gonna call this segment, Are You on Tilt, Bro? Um,
mm, mm.
you mentioning two players do quite well for you. When you look at a performance like this, is this the type of performance that says, I need to trade my first, second, and third round pick next year? Are you on tilt, bro?
I didn't try my second, did I?
Oh no, I don't know. It was it first and third? I think it's just
Um,
first and third.
I don't know if tilt is the word. I think I would be tilting more if this strategy didn't win me the championship last year. And that is
There
not
is.
that's not I'm trying not to flex with that. It is sincere, like this worked last year. I have if I can stay afloat, if I can make the playoffs, yeah, did it just get a lot louder? They just started blasting music.
You're fine. Keep talking.
Great. If Omari Hampton comes back, as they say, there is hints of him staying out longer. I picked up the number one wide receiver in the league. If there's some talk, there's some chirping that Rome and the coaches want him more involved. So just like fantasy football, you convince yourself that your team's going to be good. I think I have a stud in Quinshot Judkins. I have a wide receiver 1/2 in Rome. And also, Tim, I'll say this. Maybe I am tilting. I'll say this. I love my keepers for next year in Quinshon and Rome
Yeah.
in their like early to mid rounds. And then again, that's the Mason Taylor 13th round. So um I feel like a lot's working for me aside from producing good weeks.
And and I in all of us talking about regression, and I do love that like my positive regression in recent weeks was one of probably three different factors contributing to you feeling good about making these moves. Throw in the second factor of your exchange with the Gonzaga player earlier today. Um, that I'm just I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with what you're doing here. There's the third factor is you like to stick to philosophies that you have espoused on this BAMS cast in past years. And one of them is that it's not won in the draft and that you are all about the transactions. And I think that's what we're seeing here is this is a team and a manager style that's building an identity around draft picks or draft picks. You're like the Rams. You're just like I want known commodities and I'm willing to pay for it. I'm going to mortgage the future and I'll figure that out at a later time, which honestly, if you keep putting yourself in power positions then you don't have to get desperate. You could work from a position of power. So I kind of like what you're doing here, Zintac.
I appreciate that. I'm going to say one thing too. I should keep this to myself, but kudos to me for putting this out there because iron sharpens iron, and that's what BAMS is. Our collective knowledge, talent, strategy, just all in all, fantasy football skill improves each year. I'm going to say this one thing that I think is the biggest asset in fantasy football is is the mindset that you're not managing a football team. You're managing a fantasy football team. That sounds funny, but like when you start sucking early on, a real football team, you suck. You're not going to get better.
Yeah.
Who sucks? Who sucks? Insert the worst team, the Dolphins. They're not getting better. There's no chance. Fantasy football is not that. And too many people in fantasy football act like that. Like, and this is, I'm going to say this now because my trades are in, but, and I'm not going to post this until my trades are confirmed. No, I'm kidding. I'm not pointing out to anyone, but you know what I'm getting at? Like it's, you could,
Yes, that you can.
it's
There's no structural organizational culture that is down or up. We are
yeah,
talking about pieces on a checkers board, not even a chessboard of just like I'll just buy this guy that's good, and now all of a sudden my team's good.
yeah. So I think that's the biggest asset to be able to approach your team that way. Anyway, maybe we'll cut that. Maybe we won't. It depends how these trades go through.
And I
But
I I thought I would go complain cornerless for this because regression totally has come back my way, and I appreciate it in a big way. But the one minor complaint corner is that I haven't played you yet this year, and you just added three
oh,
three players. So I was looking ahead on the schedule. I'm like, ah. All right, let's go Nog and the Hotspurs. I have to say it? Do I have to say it about the Nog, or
got a
do we
complaint
know?
corner. I'm jumping ahead. Let's do it. Do what you're gonna say about Nog. I'm just teeing it up for later. I got a complaint corner. But go ahead.
Nog drags you into the mud. You cannot get to three digits. You just can't do it against the
No.
Nog. He he is like Iowa football. He's like Wisconsin basketball. It is just like we're playing defense. This is discipline. We're punting. We want to win. We want to win the possession battles. It is unreal how he continues to do this. And this was his identity last year, and he's just doing it again this year. It does. I don't care how good your players are. When you go up against Nog, you're not scoring. It happens again. Nog in the positives of the win-loss column, 4-3, gets the win here. Incredible stuff.
Hey, I got a question for you. Ready? Raise your hand if you can tell me who has the least amount of points scored against them in BAMS this year.
Kamish,
Tim.
is
Tim.
it Nog?
It's Nog. Mud. Mud. Nog spelled backwards is MUD.
Give me a scroll here, but it's like, oh right, I forgot that Nog was a buyer because he got Kyron Williams from Diesel Trades. Yeah, like this team is a very good team on paper. Oh right, and Nog traded for DJ Moore with me, gave me Luther Burden. That'll be my keeper for a couple years. But
Yeah.
DJ Moore, I just effing hate that guy because he just scores 7 points every week. Like he's a very good player. It's just like
Yeah.
I just had so much fatigue of like five receivers who were all scoring 7 points a week. I had to make a move. But this is a good roster for the Nog. Um, Bo Nix on the bench is tough, but Bo Nix in that previous week had that absolutely disgusting display against the Jets. So I don't blame him there. Um, Danny, as we know, the Nog plays with his heart, and he's going to end up having a lot of Chicago players every year. No surprises, Monangai on the team just didn't have him in the lineup. But those are the moves that the Nog does. Is he doesn't even need to be about accuracy and start efficiency, playing his best players who are going to score the most points. That kind of just doesn't matter. He'll score around 100, and his opponent will score around 90.
I got three things for this, and then we move on because for time's sake. Number one, here's my complaint corner. I was sitting at the draft. This will be clear as this is one of those things you're like, why do I remember that? Why does the brain make me remember things like that? It was I'm in the eighth, ninth round, whatever it was, and I had two quarterbacks to choose from. It was Drake May and Caleb Williams, and I said, "Oh, my skins is Chicago. I'm going to take Caleb Williams."
Mm.
That's my complaint corner, and that's all I'll do. I try not. I try. It's inevitable. The complaint corners, but that's all I'll say. 23 points and 40 on the bench. You had 70 combined points as a quarterback, and here I am with Caleb with six points. That's number two. Number three, you talk about tilt. I had a small tilt internally when you guys traded DJ Moore with the Burden last week because I knew it was going to be close. I don't even think it was close. Was my matchup not close? No, it wasn't even close. It makes me feel better about it. But I was like, I swear to God, I know you traded for the keeper value, and I couldn't push back on that. But I was like, if DJ Moore has a good game, I'm gonna freak out. And I worried too much about that throughout the week. Anyway, let's move on. We got like 5, 7, 8 minutes before a very important new segment. Chasey Baloney Squeezes. Chasey is a wagon, and he's sending pictures today from Medina Country Club. I guess life must be good when you're at the top of the standings Thursday afternoon You're in Michael Jordan's locker at Medina. Look at this shoe. I didn't even I didn't even process that. Whose shoe was he holding? He doesn't
Right.
wear
I'm
that.
like,
Those aren't his shoes. And if they are, dope shoes.
but they were
Uh,
massive.
oh, were they? I didn't. I was shooting hoops with Gonzaga. Um. Anyway,
I do want to make
big
a
win for.
comment on Shasky here. Yes, he is a
Yeah.
wagon. He is number one in the league. Um,
Mhm.
Speaking of leaving it on your bench, we've said that I am so far the high scorer. That will get beat as teams disparity begins to get top heavy and bottom heavy throughout the year as we just begin to load up the contenders with more and more talent. But
Mhm.
Shasky would have certainly surpassed 154 points if we scroll down to the bench here, where I've got, uh-oh, my bad. Forget about the bench. Scroll to what he has.
Goo!
Scroll to what he has playing. Oh, I must. Dang it. All right. Nope, I messed up. I thought he had some like questionable starts on his roster. But no, this is all solid. That was fun though to go down there and do the goo of what we've got in terms of depth.
That looks like my roster that I played. Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Well, he played the right fellas, and
okay.
Connor Miller
No, I
got
I
hurt.
I
Yeah.
must have seen something where I thought like Shay who was was celebrating on Saturday. I was like, "Oh, did he have some mishaps in terms of managing the roster?" But no, everything looks very good here. 147 for the boy who I don't know what he's averaging per week, but it seems like he is good for 120 easily every time.
Man, every champion of every year, I can point to someone that they drafted that came out of nowhere as a stud. And Jimmy Smith from the Jigba is that guy this year.
Yes, he is. That's just the top five receiver. That's it. And absolutely brutal where I believe the Bengals played Thursday night, and that's when Flacco was going off with Chase. Yeah, 23 targets, 16
Yes.
receptions. That happens on Thursday night in Shay's face. And the resilience from Team
Yes.
Shaysky to see that happen and then respond. And the baloney squeezes. Tough loss, but they're in second place. They continue to score a ton. That is a brutal loss against Shaysky when Bologna Squeezes puts up like 137 and doesn't get the W. Um,
Mhm.
but that is how it goes sometimes. But Bologna Squeezes are I mean that's the class of the league right there in that past matchup between Shea and the Squeezes.
Yeah, yeah. I did move on, but that's it's important to note how good of a matchup that was, and we prefaced that we framed it in the well, yeah, BAMS GPT did, but we could talk about that in the future too. That's interesting. But anyway, yeah, that was a good matchup. Let's go to the Pukaboos to the stairway to Evans. Um, Underwhelming performances by both. Stairway to Evans is having a down year. He's hitting both sides of the spectrum in his first two seasons. He had a good playoff season last year to come out of the gates hot. Not so much this year. He's now selling. He's doing it all in his first 15 months on the in the gig. Let's see what we got. Dak is an MVP candidate if he had a better team around him. Mayfield let down the Evanses. I was going to say that was the difference in the game. That was not. What's Jordan Mason doing tonight? This is selfish. Ben wanting to know because he's playing Peekaboo right now. But he had a down day. Genty. Oh, he traded Genty to Peekaboo? I didn't know that. To be
Yeah.
honest. For a second?
Yes, I believe so.
No,
Do
I
you
don't know
have
if you give.
opinions about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's hard because I have so many vulnerable tentacles out there as of today and yesterday that I don't want to get into a bad trade for Growley.
Jordan Mason right now has 2 carries for 1 yard. He
We
has
could deal with
one
that.
one catch for 3 yards.
Fine. We're happy.
Carson Wentz is not doing well.
Oh yeah. I have an 8 foot by 6 foot TV in front of me. I guess I should know a little bit of that, but I'm dialed in. Amon Ra had a nice last game with Team Stairway before he packs his bags and heads over to Commissioner. Nico Collins should not be as much of a wild card as he is this year, but he is. Darren Waller done, dead,
Dead,
dead, dead. Is that a
dead,
Corey Wooten
dead,
game?
dead.
Was that Growy's Corey Wooten game with Darren Waller?
That is a Corey Wooten game.
All right, we found one. Let's move on. Timeless. We got one more. We got Len's game. Len played
Uh,
Danny's thing gang.
Chris Benoit, Lenoir, murder suicide. We got 88 up here. Danny's Fang
Um,
gang, I think is just really good.
it's very good. They have to be high in the points against, right? Not even. Not even. You can see that, right? What I just did.
Yep.
Moving over now. Can you see these podium numbers?
Yep.
For those who don't know, we don't go to this a lot. These are just the top three scores each week. I haven't updated it for this week, but and we look at the unlucky
Oh,
sons of these who were in the top three and lost. Locke has had bad luck. I mean, this is not news. He lets the folks know that as he should, that that's when things unfortunate happen to the team. But yeah, he had a nice relaxing week against Len. Bill Crosby didn't is kind of coming down to earth. Dobbins needs to bounce, so my rookie RJ Harvey can take over. Steph Diggs had a fine game in his last game before he heads over to the Commissioner. Um, Anything stick out? Gibbs is a machine. Didn't he have like a 80-yard touchdown callback? Am I making that up? Did you watch?
I think you're correct on that. What we should also do here is it's like on a quick thing. It's just like they've fully put all of their trust into Gibbs. Mahomes, copy
Yes.
paste, control V, control C, control V every single year of, oh, this team's really sad. They don't have any good players. Um, and then just they're gonna be in the Super Bowl again. They look absolutely incredible. Um, and they are like just scratching the surface of what their team looks like. And Rashi Rice had a like low percentage of snaps, but they just were trying to get him like 25 touchdowns last week. Um,
Nice, efficient game for him. Yeah.
so this and then CD Lamb, it's like Mahomes, Gibbs, Lamb as your and then a super underrated Michael Pittman, I think, is like wide receiver 10 or something this year because the
Really?
Colts are a wagon. It's just
Yeah.
same thing with
They
me
look
having
good.
Tyler Warren. It's just like my favorite thing about Tyler Warren is that he has 10 points like by 12-15 every week. Like they just throw him like he's just wide open on the sidelines rumbling for 25 all the time. Nobody near him. That's kind of what's happening with Pittman as well, and it's just the Colts offense in terms of the offensive statistics thus far through the season. They're better than the 2007 Patriots. It's like the best offense statistically in this century. Shane Steichen. Who would have thought if he did not have Anthony Richardson, he could make this happen? I want to also give a lot of love to the Fanged Gang and the commitment to the naming of the October spooky rat
Yeah.
sick Mahomes, Ravish and the End, sidelines of the Lambs. I mean, this is just very good stuff. Scary Feudy, I think Jerry Judy is. It's just like
Very
it's
cutie.
so good.
Pax hurts. Aaron Bones. I feel like I'm reading a Sports Illustrated for Kids October issue. James Babadook, Scarrett Wilson, Grave Flowers.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I have one more thing, and then we have a BAMS first that I can announce here.
Okay.
The top 10 wide receivers for the first half of the season, not what we expected. Because you talking about Michael Pittman sparked this. Amon Ra expected to be up high. He's number one. Jamar Chase number two expected. JSN, we talked about him. Crazy that he's number three. Puka's expected. And then let's go beyond there. Number five, George Pickens. Injuries influence it, but still. Emeka Egbigbuu,
Big boo.
as Grant calls him. Then we got Keenan, number seven. Keenan Allen, number seven.
Who just
Devontae
went off again
Adams.
last week. Oh, sorry,
Did
Devontae
he?
Adams on my team. Yes.
Sorry, Keenan. Yeah, another 25 points last week. His best week probably in a couple years. Pittman's number nine. That's what prompted this all. And we were talking, yeah, Pittman's number nine, and then Olave number 10.
Shout out Fiona with the Olave at the 10
I mean, we
spot.
can keep going. Garrett Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Quentin Johnson.
There we go.
I can keep going, but yeah, crazy. It's a crapshoot. Anything else on this matchup or any of the matchups before we move on?
Quick love to Lenoir, who picked up Oronde Gadsden, son of Oronde Gadsden, who got the first touchdown tonight.
Yes.
Very, very good stuff. I like that pickup a lot. And yeah, he's got 75 catches, 77 yards, touchdown. We are not at halftime yet.
Yeah. Okay. BAMS first. It's not really a new segment. It's just BAMS first. We got a lot to talk about. We do this. Maybe we're going to structure it better. Maybe like a quarterly, mid-season, third quarter, end of season pod. But we got a lot to talk about. We got trades. We got other stuff to talk about. Jokes, swears, and dead guys. And fellas, this is only part one of the mid-season classic pod. We got part two coming up next. We're going to make sure that this sounds good, and we're going to not re-record, but record more. And that's it. Cut it.